That's enough. Where do you think you're going? Be still. I'll be back. Cascade.
Look, there's someone up. Good idea.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and also,
Didn't expect to see him here.
you know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at...
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something.
Loaded?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry. The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh? Why do you...
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh, now...
Correct. The academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, these rumors were all the persuasion that as well as being life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Even if complications arise, the notion of an academia...
Oh, that makes a lot... But there's still one very...
Throughout this process, first, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, if you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what exactly?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean...
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night, when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope.
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong, or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Hyman's a little confused.
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. However, the Academia, I've spent quite some time...
You mean you're not...
All scholars, extracting in...
Sounds like you're really...
Of course. Whether it be academics, this matter...
Wait! Didn't you...
Not to be callous, but there is no shortage of suffering.
Probably not.
You can say that. The Divine Knowledge Capsule is something I want to...
Hyman's been wanting to...
Though I must say, uniqueness is also an asset.
Wow, that's a...
I'm just a more like... He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our...
We're back!
You must be tired.
What's the situation?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar hospital served as the academy.
Yep, pretty much!
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village, since Divine Cant and knowledge has been in circulation for a while. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village. Almost as if...
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing...
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is... Sino's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point, but I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any...
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing the thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be—
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
It predicted my every move.
The academia has been watching you longer than you think.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally—
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then
Whoa, you bounced back.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger.
Oh, so that's how it is! If the academia is trying... Yep, that's right.
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After us!
Please, wait! I want to go too! I want to find Grandpa.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let Paimon feel... So, where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay.
These are likely fragments of an academia-developed device, something akin to a headset. Looks like there were... Let's split up and...
Is this what we're searching?
This is definitely a device used to extract...
How did it end up buried in the sand? They must have been attacked.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry. Your grandpa's gonna be...
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly...
We should be able to catch.
One more thing. I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Ugh, of course it is.
I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a fine idea. Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in.
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do.
I knew it. That's...
Dia? Why would you? Dia!
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa?
Where?
This complicates...
You've betrayed Aru Village?
So, this is the great... Dear, you'd be better off as my...
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people...
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing could deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting the Scarlet.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of the Scarlet King.
It's not too late yet. The village...
You don't understand, my dear lady.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia, even if they end up disbanding the Eremites, your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for all these years?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. All you see now is cracks in this desiccated land. But fate has finally dealt me a hand to play against the academia. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the academia's forces and fight our way beyond the wall of Samiel.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The academia... If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're all...
They look more like pawns of the academia to me. Filthy traitors.
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile. Perhaps we should...
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips, but I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage. These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe, and will be a much greater asset to you.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostage?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept...
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars. Perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me up?
I'm not trying to persuade...
You are the scribe. What do you have against...
Not all desert dwellers believe in the Scarlet King, and the same applies to the academia. Why must all...
You academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've met...
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't...
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their Come on, Raman. Don't be a...
An arm? What if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong, but
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him!
that's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia! Run!
Stop!
What's wrong?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own. You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take.
Phew. I was really...
Dia! That was crazy! Have you
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay.
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes if it came down to it.
I don't doubt it, Sino. Even if we got rid of...
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find...
Whatever it takes? You just might...
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's...
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have every...
I'll watch from a safe distance.
Okay, let's go then.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday.
Fine.
Next on the agenda.
Lucky today?
No touching.
You want this one?
Be still. I may have overestimated Kamisato. Suiyu!
Time for takeoff. Just like we rehearsed.
Yes. Very nice.
Yahoo! Leave it to me. Wouldn't gliding be faster? Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Diana Special! Sketch!
This is long overdue. Access denied. Let's play. Think you can get away?
Cascade! Oh, so you collect these?
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda.
Think you can bully me? Sketch!
All yours, should you have any use for them.
Yahoo! Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by 5 minutes and held everyone up?
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. You brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Raman, I've always thought of you as a man.
It's a one-for-one exchange. And let me put it this way. Agreeing...
You stay right there!
Playmate! What do you think you're doing?
Grandpa!
Don't you see this blade here?
You coward! Why are your hands shaking?
Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
Grandpa! Paimon's dead.
This day's going...
The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected it. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said. The dendro are gone.
Grandpa?
Hey, look around you.
Did there used to be a temple here?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed the symbols on the gate belonged to the Scarlet King's civilization. It could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise the Scarlet...
What's he doing here? And
They must have fallen down here with us. Most of them seem in really bad shape, except for him.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for...
As it happens,
what are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? Two major deities...
Paimon thought you...
Indeed. In my new discovery...
Raman, what are you gonna do?
I'll just let them lay...
You want me on your team?
Behold, the Prinzessin der Verurteilung.
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension.
Yeah! And there's so many plants. It's so...
Sir Raman,
Huh?
do you see it?
Are you mocking me?
Interpret it however you want. But there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. While this structure is clearly left over...
Whatever you say. It's not like I...
There's nothing to be angry about.
It does seem kinda strange. If that's true, then we might have to explore...
Adventure time! Off we go! Adventure time! Adventure time!
Be still. Mind the deluge.
Teamwork is dreamwork! All hail! No touching!
Cascade. Be still.
Midnight Fantasy!
Adventure time!
Access denied.
The depth back.
Going in! Blaze over! Way behind schedule. Next on the agenda, we're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda.
It's a sight to see. The Scarlet King's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of the Scarlet King.
It's getting brighter! Oh, it looks so beautiful!
Wait. What's that?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among them.
They left something behind. Yes. It's an
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration.
You can read ancient Scarlet King script?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The elemental energy here is too concentrated. The scent of life. Is it trying to tell us something?
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from the Scarlet King's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for—
Isn't sharing knowledge against—
Yes. However, under the circumstances, I'd prefer— You'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. The Scarlet King brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping the Scarlet King to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
What was that?
The priest's memories.
No.
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So the former...
But this doesn't make any sense.
Was that the former Dendro Archon? She became...
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt the Scarlet King's tech. You've just witnessed his priest's last word.
I've never heard about any of this. The surviving followers of the Scarlet King all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistakes. The Scarlet King's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization. It was all we saw her as nothing more than a traitor who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans. Fighting, feuding, double-crossing each other.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed, how could I ever begin to
Raman, that's an... Give it a rest. You're starting...
Dia, my Eremites and I. What?
Hey.
I should probably go.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, but please.
It's not gonna be...
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with.
When would be a good time?
Tomorrow. And I'll return.
You seem to finally understand.
Yes.
That must have been rough. But he's...
Ramon's no fool. Being the leader of your... It's too bad he was held back by his belief in the Scarlet...
The outcome...
We should get going too. Let's head back, have a proper meal, and a nice... Sino, we're leaving!
Stop yelling.
new punching bag.
Adventure time!
There's nothing wrong with reaping a reward every now and then.
Be still.
Next on the agenda... Come on! Focus!
All yours, should you have any use for them.
Need my help as usual?
Brace yourselves!
Kamisato up. Suiyu!
Born of ice and frost. Perhaps whoever left these behind was also fulfilling a contract. We're way behind schedule.
Let's play! Wouldn't gliding be faster? Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Raman,
Everything's been arranged.
I guess all I can...
Don't mention.
Where are the...
I'll bring you to them.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the...
There's no need to yell. No one can help you now.
We've been all over the desert trying to find you!
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No.
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino,
You should have known that I would be coming.
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we could have done all this.
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb from limb.
I could do worse.
Please have mercy.
Start talking. Otherwise, I'll have to resort to other methods.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently.
They, wanted to extract
Don't play dumb. You know what I'm really asking. They extract divine canned knowledge.
I
well, you better start talking or you'll be...
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
Uh-huh? That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything.
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, scholarly breakthroughs have been few and far between. The withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if...
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis, and said he wanted to borrow the Academia's research facilities. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's expression changed. He asked them, do you wish to create a...
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of academia...
First, the Academia spent a long time... After that, they harvested dreams via the Zeb-Zerus Festival Samsara. Max, with the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency, they were able to use it to extract the power from the Gnosis. And next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a huge quantity of divine...
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge
Call it an educated guess? The academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the scholar's madness for centuries, but nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Sure, if it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher.
You must have noticed by now. The academia doesn't care about who their god is. It's the ability to exercise control over knowledge, and it is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience and omnipotence that burns in their blood. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect to sources of light. For the sages, their only source of hope is the existence of this is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars, the absence of a god of wisdom means stumbling in the darkness for the duration of their lives.
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world? If you already have a new god...
From the beginning, the academia has never treated her. When the academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They found that at the time, she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about...
So, this is the path the sages have
All right, let's try to keep our cool. If everyone's in a... Raman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keeper.
Sure.
Wouldn't gliding be faster? Wouldn't gliding be faster?
The village keepers you've found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them.
Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about? In that case, let's all...
Or I can go fetch some snacks.
Oh! Paimons!
Do you have any plans, Traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
So you were still withholding some information?
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, It still feels super surreal to hear.
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time.
It seems like there'll be more issues to face in the days ahead than I'd anticipated.
Still, now's a good time to make our next move. Now that Ramon's joined us, we'll be an even stronger team.
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the rules in every sense.
So, everyone,
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
Well, let's brainstorm a little more about what other resources we can draw on.
The next time we gather here, we must have a solid plan.
Yep, it'll work out.
Don't rush. Take it slowly.
He started.
Would you like me to lend?
No way!
I was joking.
Ugh, you're still.
you must let me know. Though I cannot. I've never felt as roused as this when fight. I suppose.
The past few days, and none of it'll earn me a single Mora. I can't believe it.
Look on the bright side. Paimon would buy.
That's it?
And.
Well, and here's hoping that.
In the past, if we can find a way.